because Queen Bee just came and dumped off a bunch of stuff, and I was running back and forth and this and that, and someone rang, the doorbell, and I was like, "What in the world?" Is when YouTube gives a preview, does that mean it's like, am I live? Is the camera on? I would really like to know that. Please let me know, and don't mess with me, Jim. Why can't you find any other news on with micros on Facebook? Well, gee, I don't know. Let me roll over there quickly and see what we got going on here. So let's see here. View all profiles. See here probably because still they still have us on as there's Russell and Hunter. Nope. Let me see here. Hang tight. Let me tell you. Profile. Go for it. Yeah, it's actually still technically Russell and Hunter. That's why. That's good to know. I appreciate you letting me know that. So now I know, and I can make those changes. But appreciate you hanging out. A lot to cover today. Friday we got some stuff to cover too. It's going to be a lot of fun. But I out of the gate, something that I could not believe, absolutely could not believe my eyes when I saw. Because I understand that I'm being lied to all the time. As a matter of fact, I tell the women in my life, just lie to me. It's okay. It's just lie. It's okay. I'll assume it's the truth. Thanks, Kim. Appreciate it. What's up, Rhonda? And so when I get lied to by Washington, D.C., I assume every time they're talking to me, they're lying to me. The level of lying or senile level that Nancy Pelosi has hit is staggering to me, because this is her legacy. And again, Nancy Pelosi is, if your job as the Speaker of the House is to pass your party's agenda and to fundraise, she's the GOAT. She was the best there was. I don't agree with anything. She should be rung up in federal charges of insider trading. But here we are. If that was her job. This is what she said when asked about Kamala Harris. The Democrat Party talking about Donald Trump is a threat to our democracy, when her own party punked everybody in the Democrat Party and just placed a candidate in there without a vote. You ready for this? I cannot believe I heard this. Don't lean in. You've got to hear this. Check it out.
Reportedly said you wanted a sort of an open primary if Joe Biden stepped down. Did you change your mind because you saw all the excitement around Kamala Harris?
No, I didn't change my mind. We had an open primary and she won it. Nobody else got in the race because she was politically astute. And
what did she just say? This is the dumbest thing ever. Listen, we had
no,
one?
I didn't change my mind. We had an open primary and
You
she
did
won
not.
it. Nobody else got in the race because she was politically astute. And
because she was so smart and politically astute. What in the name of you are the biggest liar? What in the name of pants on fire? How can you think you can pull that off? You are an evil woman. You are truly, that is now your legacy. Could have gone down as the greatest speaker of all time, according to the job of a speaker, not because she did great things. Remember that? You have to pass the bill to find out what's in it. Started there. And increasingly declined the entire time. She has ruined her legacy. Completely ruined her legacy. The first female Speaker of the House ruined her legacy. And it continues to do it. We had an open primary and she won. Shut up. As a matter of fact, she wasn't even placed there till the primaries were over. You bozo. Because she thinks she's so astute and so intelligent and politically astute. Kamala Harris. Yeah. Can I just show you, and this is in other news, we're trying to stay away from this as best we can because we've got some stuff, because you think P. Diddy had freak offs? You think P. Diddy was freaky? Wait till you see the guy who locked New York City down. Wow. Okay. He told Diddy, hold my baby oil. Yeah, I bet she does sound like Bob Ross. I actually saw a Bob Ross show this weekend, just flipping through something, and it's Bob Ross's kid. I was like, pretty damn cool. Okay. Bob Ross's kid taking over. Sounds the same. All right, here we go. The cringiest moment I have seen yet. This is worse than I come from a neighborhood that's proud of their lawns. Listen to this arrogant windbag. Listen.
I was the first person to be a woman attorney general of California. I was the first woman to be elected district attorney of San Francisco. I was the first person of color to be elected attorney general of California. Whatever. First. Welcome to the Role Model Club.
That's an applause line. That's a woo, yeah. Crickets.
It's tough. Being a part of the Role Model Club means being in a room where sometimes you may be the only person who has had the experiences you've had.
Again, two in a row. Applause line.
Attorney of San Francisco. I was the first person of color to be elected attorney general of California. Whatever. First. Welcome to the Role Model Club. It's tough.
Wow. This hurts.
Being a part of the role model.
This is tough to watch. Even announcing yourself as part of the Role Model Club. Rhonda, I agree with you. She's sickening. What is that? That's as arrogant as KJP cringe saying, I walk in history every day as the first queer woman of color to be the speaker, the press secretary. Please. You're a bozo. Both of you are dumber than a bag of hammers. Anyway, thought I'd share those with you because this is one of the amazing stories that you're going to see on these undercover gotcha kind of interviews going on right now. Because Diddy. Everybody's talking about Diddy, and P. Diddy is in prison, $50 million bond, denied. In these indictments, two things you're going to see. If you read the 14 pages, you ready for this? Kevin Hart is part of this. If you want to know how sick all of these people are, probably one of the coolest, a guy that I would love to meet, Kevin Hart. Nope, not anymore. No, he was all about the Diddy party. As a matter of fact, he had a microphone and a camera the whole time. He was basically the MC. He was the mayor of these freak-offs. I saw a clip with him with a microphone, a bunch of not really dressed women hanging out in the bathroom with, and one was in the bathtub. And a guy came and lit the woman. Just big spans of just black hair. It was just beautiful hair. Dude came and lit it on fire. Lit her hair and her on fire. And Kevin Hart's laughing as he's rolling away. These people are sick. These people, I hope, get taken down. Here's somebody that was mentioned, by the way, just so we can restore your faith in humanity. The Kardashians. The Kardashians, because of everything that has come to light with Puff Daddy. Sean Combs is what we're going to call him. I'm not even going to call him, give him the respect of his name. Of Sean Combs, the Kardashians have come up. And when you think about it, you're like, well, that makes a whole bunch of sense. They were doing the same, intimidation stuff. They were bribing people. They were everything you could possibly do. Shaking people down. They were doing the same thing to get where they got. You think about this. The Kardashian family has two claims to fame. Daddy got OJ out of jail. Daddy let OJ murder two people. I don't know if you know that. Rob Kardashian was one of the first, one of the OJ attorneys. And a porn video, a leaked sex tape with Ray J. And they build $1 billion empire on that? The Kardashians are such evil human beings. If you can call them human beings, they're evil creatures. They turned the one-time greatest male athlete in the world into a woman. That's how bad the Kardashians are. I'm telling you, there's no way that the Kardashians could have built the empire they built on a sex tape without doing what they were doing and shaking people down, blackmailing people. And they did it well. And they're going to get rung up too. So fantastic. But anyway, as we know that the Diddy raid had the Sean Combs raid showed 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lube. There's a reason for that. Not it basically was a New York thing. So the guy that worked with Governor Cuomo in New York that encouraged him to lock everybody down, lock it down, and do mandates, admitted on camera, you're about to see, that he'd sneak away for some sex parties. I'm not kidding. This man is I got to show it to you. I'm just going to let it play. Just go for it.
Convince the mayor to make it a mandate.
Like New York City found out that you're having sex parties during COVID?
Yeah. It would have been a big deal.
It was really embarrassing when New York City found out. When my boss found out I was having sex parties when it was locked down, he was pretty upset.
Yeah, it would have been.
Yeah, this is former senior advisor for public health in the New York mayor's office. Oh, I'm sorry. He's a de Blasio guy. I apologize.
We went to some like underground like dance party like underneath the bank in Wall Street.
Under the bank.
And we were all rolling. We were all taking Molly, and everybody's high.
Drugging it up.
So happy because I hadn't done that in like a year and a half.
A whole year. I haven't been drugged up in a sex party. It's been a whole year. What do you expect from me? I'm the one that told you guys, that told Mayor de Blasio to do mandates and lockdowns. But hey, I hadn't done Molly and got my freak on in damn near a year. What did you expect? Of course I was going to.
Or whatever. And but I was looking around being like, I wonder if he sees it differently. Because this was not COVID friendly. The only way I could do this job for the city was if I had some way to blow off steam every now and then.
Oh, hey, no way I could do my job unless I got to blow off steam. You guys can't. But if I can't do my job to blow off steam, you guys are, absolutely crazy.
Because I was like running the entire COVID response for the city.
I was running the entire COVID response for the city. Do you see that? This is insane. Listen to this bozo.
Because I was like running the entire COVID response for the city. My wife and I like had one with our friends.
Yeah, I had a little sex party with our friends. How'd you do that first summer? How'd you do it?
Like in August of like that first summer. So we rented a hotel. It was fun. We all like took like, Molly and just like, it was like 8 or 9 of us and 8 to 10 of us.
8 to 10 of us just getting our freak on.
Room and everybody had a blast because everybody was like so pent up. Because it had been like, everybody was just like stuck together and stuff like that. Yeah. And sometimes it isn't so much about like.
Okay, we're going to stop. Grizz, you win. Got it. But yeah, leather gimp mask is still technically abiding by mask mandates. Yes, it is. Amen.
Some it's just something about like bodies being close to each other.
Bodies, get naked. Friends. Get naked with friends. Like you do. I'm going to make a brisket this weekend. Maybe we all just stand around get naked. Who knows? I think I didn't know that was the thing. Wow.
It was like the summer of 2020. So like walk around the streets and eat outdoors.
Did you have like any mandates in place?
There wasn't any restrictions on gathering. Like you could technically gather people. The hotels didn't want to have parties, but they weren't going to like.
Yeah.
It's so funny. It's like this because I did all this like deviant like sexual stuff while I was like on TV and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And people were like, aren't you afraid? Aren't you embarrassed? And I was like, no, actually, I'm like really like I love being my authentic self.
So because listen, small businesses shut down, mom and pop losing all of their life savings, kids getting ruined in school because schools are shut down. But this asshat has to be true to himself. He has to be his true self. This man is mentally unfit for anything, and he should be arrested.
The way we do it in public health is we make it very uncomfortable to be unvaccinated. I don't expect your education to change your behavior. I'm just going to make it really hard for you to do your job. You can't get a job. You can't go to a restaurant. You can't go to school. It's like, I'm just going to get vaccinated.
So was it technically like kind of forcing you?
Yeah, that's what you force people by making it really uncomfortable.
Yeah. All these people should be arrested. That man needs to be arrested immediately. Man. And it just goes to show they all freaks. All of them. I was watching an interview yesterday with one of Bill and Hillary's toys that they both played with. I'm just, my chin was on the floor. This is testimony. Like they are all out of their mind lunatics. All of them. That's why when Trump got busted on that Entertainment Tonight or whatever the hell it was, Access Hollywood, remember that? I just grab him and yeah, that thing. Yeah. Yeah, they all just a bunch of freaks. My buddy Slavo, he's executive chef, a private executive chef. He's cooked for the Trump kids. Yeah. So they're all of them. What the hell? Like all of them are doing stuff we'd get arrested for, and it's like, whatever. Yeah. Kind of crazy. Okay, Rhonda, I will give him that. You know what? Yeah, something, but I actually, if you're going to be all upset about the French Laundry, and you're going to be upset about Nancy Gomes gets her hair did, you should probably be mad about the guy locking people down, having wild sex parties, doing Molly, doing illegal drugs, admitting it. Yeah, holy mackerel. And you're right, Grizz, not a damn thing's going to be done. It's so staggering. Actually, that might be the show. That actually might be the entire theme of the show today. Not a damn thing will be done. Because the God's honest truth. Not a damn thing will be done. It's absolutely awful. It really, really is. So I'm going to let you hear some testimony, if you could. Oh, Lori Lightfoot. Don't even give me joy. Jim, Lori Lightfoot actually has found her calling. I don't know if you saw this, but there's an Illinois mayor. This chick is just the worst of these. She makes Nancy Pelosi look like a Girl Scout. Just this woman is as corrupt and just as flashy and arrogant and awful. She's an awful creature. They hired Lori Lightfoot to investigate her office to find fraud. What better person to do that? Oh my goodness. It's like having Bernie Madoff explain why Social Security is a Ponzi scheme. We want him to explain it because he knows. So let's look into today's investigation into the Boita. Into the border, our southern border. I want you to hear from a now retired boss man down there who gives his sworn testimony under oath, his sworn statement. I want you to hear this.
The only true consequence we have to slow down and discourage people from coming into the United States illegally is sending them back to their country of origin.
Fact.
Throughout the first 3+ years of this administration, I saw a steady decrease in the countries we could send people back to.
So basically, they have a list of countries they can send people back to. This guy was told, yeah, that used to be 100. Now it's 60. Now it's 50. Now it's 40. Now it's 2.
For the first time in my 25 years and under 5 different administrations, whether through neglect or on purpose, I saw a large-scale lapse in our ability to return people to their country of origin. The inability to send people home meant that most people being arrested for illegal entry would either have to be detained or released. The current administration, however, from day one, made a point of decreasing the amount of detention space available nationwide. Immigration and Customs Enforcement's funding for detention has steadily been cut and private detention eliminated.
Really?
The fact that so many illegal aliens are being released into the United States spread worldwide very quickly. As this happened, the numbers the Border Patrol encountered illegally crossing the border increased exponentially.
Sure did.
The impact to me and my agents were significant. Sectors were ordered to take in and process all the illegal aliens encountered on the border. The Border Patrol saw groups of hundreds and thousands coming into the United States and turning themselves in. These numbers pulled 80, 90, sometimes 100% of the agents on duty away from the border.
Did you hear that? So not only are they allowing it, they knew what was happening. When you have 200,000 illegal migrants coming over the border, it takes all of your personnel just to process them so nobody's standing watch on the border. Again, I believe in coincidences. I've just never seen one.
Border Patrol zones across Texas, Arizona, and California had no agent presence for weeks and months at a time.
Wow.
Those who did not want to be caught could simply walk in. Mm-hmm. We have no idea who and what entered our country over this time. Throughout 2022 and 23, I sent agents to Texas and Arizona to count gotaways. Those sectors could not even put enough agents in the field to see what they'd missed. Simultaneously, in San Diego, we had an exponential increase in significant interest aliens.
Okay, significant interest aliens. Pay attention to this. This is a significant increase.
These are aliens with significant ties to terrorism.
There you go.
Prior to this administration, the San Diego sector averaged 10 to 15 SIA arrests per year. Once word was out the border was far easier to cross, San Diego went to over 100 SIAs in 2022, well over that in 2023, and even more than that registered this year.
Listen to this.
These are only the ones we caught.
Yeah, that's the only ones we got.
At the time, I was told I could not release any information on this increase in SIAs or mention any of the arrests.
Okay, I want you to hear that again, y'all. That's important stuff right there.
The ones we caught. At the time, I was told I could not release any information on this increase in SIAs or mention any of the arrests. The administration was trying to convince the public there was no threat at the border.
Damn.
Fentanyl is another issue. The San Diego area sees between 80 and 90% of the methamphetamine and fentanyl seizures annually for our entire country. With little enforcement at the border, these drugs were coming through en masse. During my last year in San Diego, the price for a single pill of fentanyl, for example, went from $10 to 25 cents.
Oh!
To make matters worse, during 2022 and 23, I had to shut down San Diego traffic checkpoints, which are critical for drug interdiction, because the resources had been diverted to the process and release mission.
So he had to shut down his drug enforcement branch because they were busy pushing papers, processing people coming through.
The large numbers also had and still have a negative impact on the San Diego community. I had to release illegal aliens by the hundreds each day into communities who could not support them. To quiet the problem, 2 flights a week were provided from San Diego to Texas. These flights simply brought aliens that would have been released in San Diego over to Texas. Each flight cost approximately $150,000.
You said what? Each flight costs $150,000. They do 2 of those a week, taking people to Texas. Now you wondering why Governor Abbott was so pissed off? Why he just had enough? Because he wasn't being invaded. He was being invaded by the Biden administration.
This was the administration's way to try and quiet the border-wide crisis. Once these flights were stopped and the releases continued, California saw the true economic impact. I received calls from the governor's office, local mayors, and hospital administrators asking me if we could keep injured aliens in custody so the federal government would pay the medical bills.
Damn.
Through pressure from the administration, my headquarters became more interested in the fiction that being portrayed in the media and not at all concerned with reality. Each time we asked for help in dealing with a new issue, it fell on deaf ears. At times in San Diego, we had 2,000 or more aliens sitting in between the fences asking to turn themselves in. I was told to move them out of sight of the media. Meanwhile, Border Patrol agents are continually forgotten and neglected by the media and this administration. These agents deal with death, women and children that have been raped, abused, trafficked, bought and sold, families that have spent months in terrible conditions, sickness, and despair. If you look at the dramatic rise in the number of suicides within the Border Patrol, it is directly correlated with the migrant surge.
Damn.
The agents have been pushed beyond their limit, and this has greatly impacted their physical and mental health. While current numbers of aliens crossing our border are lower in comparison in recent months, there's a reason for this. After nearly 4 years, this administration finally started to ask Mexico for help in slowing down the traffic through their country. This and other actions make a difference, but why has it taken so long? All of these tactics were being used before this administration took office, but this administration stopped or greatly limited them. I'm also concerned this will not be maintained. The problems we are facing at the border have solutions. These solutions can be quite simple and cost far less than the mess currently occupying so much time and money. The return to a policy of enforcing the law and returning illegal aliens to their home countries is required. Thank you.
Can't get much better than that. How eye-opening is that? Oh, I'm posting that. There's no way I'm going to let that speech go away. I mean, I think it was Rhonda. That's treason. Period. It's treason. It's allowing an invasion of our country and facilitating an invasion of our country. Do not be fooled in any way. Don't be fooled by this nonsense you hear in debates. Don't be fooled when it said, oh, well, we did something. We did whatever, 3 months, 3 months ago, we finally did something. You know what they did? And you know why illegal border crossings are down? The CB1 app, or the whatever the hell it is, the app that they gave the cartels to have all the people download, to have all the illegal migrants download. They now make appointments to come through the actual channel instead of coming up and turning themselves into Border Patrol. So the number of illegal crossings have gone down because they're all getting a pass, a time. They're getting scheduled to come through the regular ports of entry. Son of a biscuit. And they can say it. They can say, yeah, well, legal border crossings are down. That's the truth. The same amount of people are coming over. So much of what drove me nuts about that was when he said, yeah, you got to get them out of the side of the media. So they fly them to Texas at $150K a flight. He knows, because he's the head of Border Patrol. He was, and he knows how to read the reports. He knows what it costs. This is frightening. On every level, this is frightening. We not surprising, because we knew this kind of crap was going on. But I didn't know to this level. I honestly did not know to this level. I'd been to the border. I've been there. I've stood on the border. I have watched people come by. I've questioned them. I have talked to people. I've talked to Border Patrol. I've talked to city managers. I've talked to mayors. I've talked to sheriffs. It all sounds unbelievable until you hear this guy. You're like, okay, now I know where you guys are. And yes, and I was being serious there. So, but Brendan popped in with this. Yep. Good job. Good job. Bidenomics is working. Yeah. Harris will continue this. So basically that's even what I asked Queen Bee. I said, could you possibly vote for another 4 years of what we had the last 3.5 years? You could vote for another 4 years. You totally do that. Good luck. That's it. There's no way. I mean, even 528, 589, or whatever the hell it's called, that website that's supposed to predict every race, has Donald Trump walking away with 317 electoral votes right now. It's just not. Everything is fake. One of the favorite things I've seen lately, and you can find a lot of this on Instagram, is, let's see here. Don't understand how any Democrat with a brain cannot see the reality of everything in the Dems in this administration have done in the past 4 to 8 years. Yeah. They believe these people are out for the best interest of the country, because they're just being lied to, Truman. The Democrats know lies work. That's like a Republican saying that the Republican Party is fiscally responsible. Like, just stop. It's a lie. It's BS. All of it is. Nancy Pelosi saying that, yeah, we did have an open primary and Kamala won. What? Like, that's not even, I don't even know if that's considered a lie. That's insulting lies. That's insulting liars. And again, go back to it, Ronnie, you're right. Propaganda. Go right back to it. You go right back to the Smith-Mundt Act, and you will understand that Barack Obama in 2014, listen, McConnell and Boehner were complicit in this as well, pulled the Smith-Mundt Act, which said essentially the government can lie to you and lie to you and lie, and lie, and then after that, lie until your pants spontaneously ignite. Just what it is. Combust. It's probably a better way to put it. The scariest thing of all of this is birthright citizenship. That is the scariest part of the millions, the 10 million illegal migrants that are here currently. Asylum seekers and this crap. They have 2 to 5 years to report to their asylum hearing. And guess what? They're free to have jobs. They're free to have babies. And that's when Donald Trump is elected and he starts massive deportations. When he starts this massive deportations, he is going to absolutely be crucified. Because what? Well, I'm sorry. This guy that came from Honduras, he's over here. He had a kid. He's got a kid here now. That kid's a citizen. Unbelievable. Unreal. If y'all don't understand this, I am from Southern California. One of the biggest industries in Southern California is birth tourism. I don't know if it's spread outside of California, but California was one of the economies of California. And people from other countries would basically schedule a C-section at a clinic of sorts, a little hospital, a little doctors, whatever it is, and they would pay high, a lot of money to fly in, have their C-section, be in their little resort room, and then have a citizen baby. It's an industry. So when I grew up seeing that, my first thought when these migrants are coming across was they're going to have a lot of children. Yeah. And it needs to be revoked, Rhonda, right away. We're the only country that does that. We need to pull it. Yeah. And we are being laughed at. 100% we're being laughed at. Hey, we were laughed at in Afghanistan. And then we had to allow a war to happen so Biden can claim he got all of the NATO nations to sing Kumbaya together. I'll go back to it. This is treason. This is an invasion this is an attack. This is an attack on our nation by our United States government. They're fundamentally changing the United States of America for the worse. Invite the third world, become the third world. Just keep saying that in your head. Invite the third world, become the third world. There's no way these slappies are here to assimilate into our culture. Do you see the Muslim parades and the anti-Israel parades in major cities here? All migrants. Basically saying, you will bow to us, you will change it, we will change you. We will be an Islamic state. Yeah. We're attacking ourselves. That's dang right, Rhonda. Let's get to this, shall we? Governor Newsome, Gavin Newsome, has signed did I get the purple on there? Anyway, Gavin Newsome has signed legislation banning satire in the state of California. He signed 3 laws. 3 laws. And you're right, Steve. Cloward Piven, exactly. But Gavin Newsome, stick with California a second, has signed 3 laws that prohibit satire basically against him and Kamala Harris. Basically unconstitutionally banning satire. We had, and by the way, the decompression session will be the commercial that was made directly after it. Remember yesterday's decompression session was the Kamala Harris commercial, right? Yeah. That commercial was what caused Gavin Newsome to sign an executive order banning satire in his state. So immediately the same group made a commercial for Gavin Newsome. Can't wait to show that to you. But first, quickly, these heads of these social media companies were ripped in front of Congress today.
Your companies, this primarily Mr. Walker for Google and Mr. Clay for Facebook. Gavin Newsom just signed a law, 3 laws actually in California, into effect that will criminalize the use of so-called deep fakes before an election. How do you plan to comply with that law? Are you going to go arrest people who are making AI-generated memes of Donald Trump running away with ducks and geese?
Senator, it's early for us to understand. We are just receiving the laws, which were signed very recently, and we're looking at how we might best comply with.
Comply? What the hell do you mean comply? Your answer, Google dude, is simple. Hell no. Comply? Pound sand. That's. I mean, I'm not a constitutional attorney, but I know that's unconstitutional.
A number of laws. There are quite
Mr. Flagg, a lot of ducks and geese memes
on Facebook.
On
what
your
do you
got?
Cool.
Mr. Smith thinks they're funny. He's laughing again. It's fine. People laugh at them. Satire and political humor is as old as our country. It's fine. I'm glad that you're not going to do again what you did in 2020, but I don't envy either of your companies dealing with what Gavin Newsome has done in California, or what many in this Congress propose to do, criminalizing and censoring core political speech. So, Mr. Clegg, do you have any idea how you're going to comply with
Come on,
California?
Facebook.
Well, it's only just been signed, so again, we would need probably to look at it more
And this guy.
closely. But I think, Senator, your central point that there is a lot of playful and innocent and innocuous use of AI, and then there's duplicitous and egregious and dangerous use of AI. That is the...
Okay. I understand this guy's point, but God bless the senator for combating this. Listen to his response.
That is exactly why, as I think...
And I have to ask, my time's expired, I have to ask, who's going to draw that line? Who's going to
Yep.
decide what's
Who?
playful, innocuous, and harmless, and what is misinformation and disinformation? And I got to say, some of the people you go to, like PolitiFact and Southern Poverty Law Center, don't strike me as quite neutral sources. And I don't think you're going to find neutral sources in the government of California or in this administration either.
That's a hell of a question. Then who gets to decide what's misinformation and who doesn't? Independent fact checkers? You know, I am a Second Amendment freak, and you all know that. But the biggest argument to me, when, you know, we need to focus on mental health, and we can't have people that are mentally unfit to own a firearm. We can't have them own a firearm. Who gets to decide what is mentally fit and what is not mentally fit? Who gets to decide? In our world, it should be a judge. It should be due process. And if someone is not mentally fit to own a firearm, they're not mentally fit to basically function in polite society without a doctor's help. So then they will be admitted, therefore forfeiting their Second Amendment right. But who gets to decide what's mentally healthy or not? Who gets to decide what medication you've been on as a kid that's going to take away and strip away your Second Amendment right? You're right, Grizz. They are mentally unfit to decide. This is true. But Grizz, you're a military guy. You're a veteran. So I mean, you think about if we have somebody deciding who can post memes, somebody deciding who can own a firearm because because they get to decide if they're mentally fit or not. The VA has all the records. Hell, you saw senators and congresswomen. You saw people just a year ago trying to pass a bill to eliminate to take the guns away from a lot of our veterans. Why? Because of what they told the VA in their treatment, and because of the medications that the VA gave them. This is scary. Seriously. Post-traumatic stress is no damn joke, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't be able to defend your family and your home. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I would take the any veteran suffering from PTS. I would take any veteran owning a firearm over the majority of these soy boys who pee their pants every time they see a firearm. They can't even handle it. Can't even handle Apple having an emoji with a firearm. Oh, it's unbelievable that even the social media companies, even the phone companies, you can't even have a gun emoji for the love of God. Can't have a gun emoji except for X. The new Twitter is the only place, and God bless them, they picked in 1911. Oh. I don't like shooting 1911s. They don't feel good in my hand, but damn, they're the sexiest firearm ever made. Jim said I got VA happy pill bottles that are not open. Yeah. Keep taking them back. Auto shipment. Oh my goodness. The biggest drug dealer in the United States, the biggest cartel in the United States is the VA. You can't prove me wrong. I would dare you to try to prove me wrong. There is no bigger pill-pushing operation than the Veterans Affairs medical apparatus. It's unbelievable. And for the most part, wasn't for the good of the vet. It definitely wasn't for the good of the vet. It was a kickback to the pharmaceutical industry so they can keep selling to the government on those fat government contracts. But who gets to decide what satire is? Let's think about that. Y'all saw the People versus Larry Flint. People versus Larry Flint, I think, is one of the most underrated movies. I think Woody Harrelson, hands down, best performance, side of Zombieland. People versus Larry Flint was the founder of Hustler magazine, Larry Flint, smut peddler back in the day. Can you imagine? Do you think all these wild sex parties and stuff are just happening with Diddy in the New York mayor's office? No, way back. So the People versus Larry Flint was he had a cartoon section of his magazine. And I believe it was a Jerry Falwell, Reverend Falwell. I forget what the cartoon was, but Falwell took him to court. Then it got elevated all the way to the Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court thanked the good Lord. I don't care if you like the cartoon or not. I don't care if you dig Larry Flint or porn magazines. I don't care. It's constitutionally protected. Satire, even the worst satire, the worst, it's protected. Misinformation, protected. Your thoughts, your beliefs, protected. We were told, remember, that this was a pandemic of the unvaccinated. We were told that you can not get COVID. You cannot spread COVID. Have you had your jab? That's misinformation. That wasn't shut down. Schmeiver Schmeckton works. Shut down. And it does. For me. So this satire thing is just absolutely mind-blowing to me, that this absolute slappy asshat can sign a law saying, oh, you can't do that in my state. We're California. Yeah. Circling back to immigration, Rhonda says, okay, let's go ahead and do this. Let's hit it. Circling back to immigration, Title VIII says that you were born here, but your parents are not citizens. You are not a citizen. Yeah, that's if you take Title VIII and I guarantee you, Rhonda, that citizens, at least dual citizenship is given to these kids. I can guarantee you, because of what I have seen in California. It's been going on for decades. And those people that were flying in here to have their babies weren't staying at, their family, their husband's house here in California, right? Neither of those were citizens. The baby born here, that's why it was such a lucrative industry, was we saw it all the time. Right? We actually saw it all the time when right here in Arizona, when we talked about the southern border and illegal aliens, they were from Mexico. They're just like, we're here, we're just going to roll on in there, right? And they would come across the border in labor. Again, two parents, Mexican citizens, have a Estados Unidos baby, hijo. Yeah, unbelievable what is going on right now, and trust me, good luck, especially the migrants that did come over that actually are their children, and they got to keep them. Those kids are in school. Good luck, Donald Trump. Mass deportations of kids that are in the U.S. school system. Good luck. I mean, thank God he can't run for another term, because he'll win this one, and then he's in no way. I mean, the apparatus will crush him. Will absolutely crush him. I've got to look into it too, because I don't think it's. I don't know if it's. I don't know if it's, I saw a couple of headlines about it, but I really got to do the research, because this is something big that if I bring it to you guys, I want to make sure it's true. But the rumor is, and I'll have to figure it out, is that that our attorney general is not going to charge this Ralph guy with a conspiracy or attempt to commit assassination. He's being held on 2 charges right now. That's illegally, and both of them are illegally possessing a firearm. That's it. Yeah. Okay, hold on a second. Okay, let's talk about this trade then. All right, so Brendan says, would be fine if we could eject one whiny. Oh, I thought you said elect. Okay. Eject one whiny liberal every new migrant with a 1-to-1 swap. Line up the soy, boys. Let's go. Holy. Yeah. Look, and I am a huge fan. A huge fan. Yes, Truman, I don't disagree with the fact that he's a government asset. It's like this deal with the I almost said the CIA with Israel and the Hezbollah pagers and walkie-talkies. It came to light that Israel actually manufactured these things. They didn't hack into them. They manufactured them for this purpose and sold them to Hezbollah en masse. That's what is being said. Again, a giant operation which you can, which would be very, very difficult to get away with and pull off if you're not in bed with the CIA. Throwing it out there. Second I saw those things popping, I was like, CIA did this. To me, that's the truth. The CIA was all over this. Let me end with this if I could. That's genius 4D chess. I agree with that, Brendan. But I think the CIA was helping them as kind of maybe an earpiece in the chess game, if you know what I'm saying. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to get back to this, and we'll definitely stay on immigration because I'm here in Arizona, so this is what we talk about all the time. But the thing that is absolutely wild to me is that the internet is so fast that these people are being completely exposed. Kamala Harris can't outrun her speech about we'll come into your home and see what you're doing with your guns. She can't outrun that because of the internet. Gavin Newsome is banning satire in the state of California because he's a slappy idiot, 1. And 2, because he really does not understand that the internet is smarter than him, faster than him, and it's got everything on him. By the way, don't the whole French Laundry, the restaurant that he went to during the COVID lockdowns, the French Laundry, like $300 bowls of pasta, this, that, and the other thing. I subscribe to, and I know there's liberal stuff on it. I get it. There's uber liberal stuff on it called Masterclass. The owner of the French Laundry teaches you how to make mashed potatoes. Changed my world. I was like, okay, dude. Yeah, a guy who runs a restaurant that has $300 bowls of pasta is teaching me how to make mashed potatoes. I'm in. Let's go. Yeah. Anyway, back to Gavin. So here is your decompression session. Again, a little earlier today. Like I said, this week is a little stacked at noon. At 1 for me. So we gotta jump a little early. But I want to get your decompression session in. This is the response. If you remember, yesterday we had the Kamala Harris commercial that was fantastic. That's what made him sign executive orders banning satire in an election year. The internet was right behind him, saw it coming, and gave you this. Enjoy.
Gavin Newsome, the governor of California. This is a message for the people of America, given in my authentically recorded, non-AI voice. Thanks to my leadership over the last several years, California has become a world leader in extremist, left-wing governance. My policies were so effective that almost 1 million people are now fleeing the state every year. We even ran out of U-Hauls. During the COVID pandemic, I locked everyone in their homes and shut down businesses for months. Not the French Laundry, though. That's my favorite restaurant. Last year, I cleaned up the dangerous, messy streets of San Francisco, because Chinese Communist President Xi was coming, and I really wanted to impress him. He's my boss, after all. This year, I signed legislation that allows me to take custody of your kid if you refuse to give him artificial hormones and chop off his genitals. Because if you don't do that, you're a bigot, and bigots shouldn't be allowed to have kids. I've also led the way in green energy by banning all cars that don't run on electricity. Then I banned almost all the electricity. This is smart leadership. On my watch, the cost of living and homelessness have skyrocketed. Schools are failing. Drug dealers and human traffickers are pouring across the border. And poop has covered the sidewalks of San Francisco. This is the positive, joyful vision we offer as Democrats. That's why I'm enthusiastically endorsing Kamala Harris for president in 2024. She'll do to the country everything I did in California. Anyway, I'm California Governor Gavin Newsome, and I approve this 100% real message, which is a recording of my voice without the assistance of any AI whatsoever. This isn't a deep fake, and you can rest assured that it isn't, because I just signed an unconstitutional law outlawing deep fakes. No one would dare violate it. Thank you, and science bless America.
Yeah. It's fantastic. That is absolutely amazing. Mm-hmm. Yeah, poop did create jobs. That is right. Yeah. Just like Mao did in China. The same. Yeah. French Laundry is one of your elite customers. Hey. And yes, Lynn, mashed potatoes. I make great mashed potatoes. I make fantastic mashed potatoes. Now I got two different things. I got my my bougie mashed potatoes, which come from the dude from the French Laundry, and I got my country mashed potatoes, which are fantastic. But this dude, look, if you love high fat diet like I'm in, I'm telling you, dude just keeps pouring cream and butter into the damn thing. Just keep whipping them up. It's okay. Just keep pouring cream. Oh yeah, they can hold more dairy in there. Go. And just I was like, yeah, you got daddy right there. Just keep putting a whole tub of butter in that damn thing. Let's do this. That's the way I like it right there. Oh, yes, the French Laundry. What do you mean one of your elite customers? I want to know about that, Truman. That's fantastic. But the French Laundry, they charge a lot. Grizz says I have high fat. He says he has high fat. But I had high fat. That's why I went to high fat, so I could get skinny. Again, everything the government tells you to do the opposite. I'm telling you. They tell you not to eat eggs, eat 6 a day. I'd eat probably a dozen a week. Yeah. I'm all about that. I eat high fat. I eat lots of creams and dairy and meats, and fantastic. It's wonderful. Drop in LBs by the day. Not kidding. Yeah. Chef Works. Oh, okay, cool. Chef Works culinary apparel. Do you know anything about Aramark? Or now it's Vestis. So yeah, talk to Truman. We want to talk about Aramark. Rob and I actually do all of Aramark's online training. We do the voices. We're the voices for that. We do the voices. We've done it for like 10 years. Yeah, so they do. I know they do chef coats and all that kind of stuff. So who knows? Yeah. Anyway, I got to bounce out of here. You guys are absolutely amazing. Too much fun. I thank you so much. And by the way, Truman, my sister's worked at Aramark for 20-ish years. My very best friend in the world is the regional vice president. Like I'm just tied up with those guys. So they've been good to us. Hopefully they haven't been too crappy competitors for you. But anyway, you guys, thank you so much for playing along. We'll do this Friday. We have two great things to talk about right out of the gates. Florida is perp walking kids that are ne'er-do-wells, perp walking them. And CNN confronts a guy who's voting for Trump because he's worried about the economy that has the audacity to have a boat. Not kidding. All right, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow. We're going to talk about it. We'll see it. We'll have some fun right here on In Other News. Have a great afternoon.